Hello, it's Pete Degnan here. Just before we start the show, here's a track of the work that's undertaken recently by the Apnapan CIC to do with their workshop and their creative writing. Hope you enjoy this.
The waiting room fills me with anxiety, like an intravenous drip. But gently, ever so gently, you stroke my hand. Your kindness flows into me.
Mama Bear, demanding to come along, holding my hand so I feel somewhat strong. The support allowing me to feel loved and safe, negative thoughts being shoved away. I was lost in darkness, going nowhere. Light came shining and brought me here. Alone for so long, I was scared. You brought me your strength, which you kindly shared. Human kindness and empathy creates positive healing energy. It's no shame to be vulnerable. It's no shame to be afraid. Глаза твои боятся, а руки делают.
So take the most out of the list, hold on to hope and believe, spread the love and appreciate life no matter what, as now is your only chance. So strike while the iron is hot.
There are lots of similarities when we share our experiences, breaking expectations, no longer keeping up appearances.
याद रखो तुसी कल्ले नहीं अपने सहायता ते मदद करेंगे ते हमेशा हड्डे नाल होंगे अपना रब सहाय हुंदा विश्वास न छुड़ो
Champion your city, see how you can build, be your own life architect, and have all your wishes fulfilled.
So hold on to the pillars around us, for they will lift us up and ground us.
Soar Sound from the heart of Leicester.
Welcome to the Spotlight Show. The time just gone 1 o'clock. My name's Pete Degnan. I'm the host for today. Now, today I'm talking to two people, Debbie and Anna, who have had a journey because they were diagnosed with cancer. We will discuss that shortly, but also they were involved in the workshops that were created and run by Apnapan, the local CIC. And to be honest, a very worthwhile charity who deal with the physical and mental health as well as exercises. So, first of all, Debbie, Anna, welcome to Spotlight.
Hi.
Hello.
That's enthusiastic. That's a good start, right? I think really the first question I need to ask, I'll start with Anna, do it alphabetically, is the fact that when were you diagnosed you had cancer, and what was your reaction? I know that sounds silly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no problem. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2021. It was June, I remember. It was very unexpected. I was planning on going on a vacation on holidays to visit my dad. He lives in Latvia, in a different country. And I received a letter to go to oncology department, and I'm like, why oncology? What's happening? And before I had a mammogram done, and I didn't think anything's going to be bad, so I came to a hospital. An oncologist gave me the booklet. Is basically saying, hey, your chemo is starting in 2 weeks. I'm like, what? Apparently they mixed up the appointments. I was supposed to have appointment first with a surgeon who was supposed to explain me, kind of gradually explain me what's happening. But they mixed it up. They sent me to the oncologist first, who thought I was aware. So for me, it was like, I was in shock. I was like, I burst in tears. I thought my life is over. That was my reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Debbie, how did it work out for you?
Right, mine was very different because I'd had pain in it, and I'd gone to the doctor with that, and so they'd made a referral to a clinic, the breast clinic, and so I went along, and I think my doctor kind of said, "Oh, most of these turn out to be nothing. It shouldn't be a problem, but we'll send you and we'll check you just in case." And it was while I was at the clinic, because you go through different stages. You go to one person to be examined one way and another way, and then another way. And I was the only person left in the clinic. So my appointment was about 1:30, 2 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, I was still there waiting for my final interview with the consultant. And so I'm kind of like looking around the corridor thinking, why is everybody else gone? Have they forgotten about me?
Yeah.
And eventually I was called in. I was the word suspicious was used, not the word cancer at that stage. And I think they could tell from the ultrasound pretty much that it was cancer, and it was a later stage cancer as well. So and for me, obviously the shock was there because I hadn't expected that at all.
Yeah.
I'd left, I had a healthy lifestyle. I hadn't, and all I could think is, why me? Why have I got this? And I felt it was really unfair. But the shock, I didn't burst into tears. I was just silent. I couldn't actually deal with what was being said.
I mean, I imagine, did you have that automatic sort of support group from family members or close friends, and were you willing to actually discuss it?
Yeah, one of the things I'm quite open about it. I was quite willing to discuss it. One of the things that shocked me was I felt I was managing the people close to me, their reactions to my cancer. I felt responsible, and it wasn't discussed at all with the people close to me. I was it was people on an outer level who came to me and actually wanted to talk to me, support me, and listen to me.
Did you find the same situation, Anna?
My situation was I was kind of left alone in UK because I don't have any immediate family here.
Oh, right.
I have only a few friends, so I felt quite alone and abandoned. But the thing that turned out a little bit interesting. The friends that I actually thought they're gonna help me, I relied on, they kind of distance from me.
Yeah.
But those that I didn't expect who's gonna help me, they actually stepped in. I had a friend from Canada who came to visit me a few times. I had a friend from Cyprus who's been going through me when I was going through the surgery and stuff. So it was interesting experience. And
I mean, basically, I feel that there are those people who are unable to step up when the word cancer is used because they feel as if they're going to be dragged into whatever, as opposed to realistically, you just want someone to either treat you normally, be willing to talk when you need to talk about it. Would that be, do you control the narrative?
Yeah, that's very much the case. While you're in that situation, that's what you want. You just want somebody to treat you normally. And but that distance of people, it's almost as if you've got a contagious disease, and
is that why you get the feeling people stay away from you because they think it might be catching or something?
Yeah, or unlucky. I've heard people use that word as well, and so just kind of completely distance themselves.
I mean, I suppose in this situation and your situation with no family around you, you really find out who your friends are.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Now, you've been involved in the workshops from the Apnapans CIC, and basically, obviously you found them useful because that's the whole point you're here talking about it. But I mean, did it generate was everyone involved in your courses also suffering from cancer or have been suffering from cancer?
Yeah, it was a very interesting experience because I've never done anything like that. I've never created a music, and I hate poetry. So, but I decided it needs to be, I'm going to go for a challenge, and I'm really glad I went through this experience. At the end, well, not at the end, when Indy presented the final piece, I was crying literally because I mean, every little sound of that track was created by us, it's just, it's amazing. It's like a baby, baby was born.
Yeah, so it wasn't a case of you're listening to music, you're listening to your music. So that sort of sense. I mean, what about you, Debbie? You're the creative writing, the actual musical side, or even the poetry, which bits actually hit?
Yeah, I was really interested in the musical side because I can play a couple of instruments. So I was really up for creating something. And I can remember when it was mentioned, I said, I'm no good with words. I won't be able to do day one. I won't be able to put anything to paper. But the workshop was so well managed and run to pull out those words from us and put them into poetry, which was amazing.
Were other people involved in the workshops also in the same situation regarding cancer, or was it sort of a general group?
No, it was all people affected by cancer.
So you sort of had that sort of camaraderie of sort of all being in the same boat to a great extent.
Yes, definitely. And what was interesting was how common our experiences were as well. There was a real common thread throughout of people when they started expressing themselves through the words.
It was amazing.
I do know that the Apnapans CIC also undertake walks as well. Was that something you were involved in, or did you just concentrate on the creative writing and music side?
I've taken part in the walks, the canal boat rides, the mindfulness. It offers so many different avenues for well-being and real mental well-being, because a lot of the cancer, it's a physical disease, but it really affects you mentally. Yeah. And the group actually really supports your mental health and gives you space for each other to support and talk about it, and that the space is amazing.
So have you actually formed friendships outside of a group?
Because we meet so regularly, that's the friendships have formed through a meeting up, weekly or fortnightly.
Well, and Anna, are you still having to go back to hospital, or are you sort of waiting on other test results on that?
Yeah, I'm waiting for one minor surgery. So, and after that, hopefully it's going to be over with the major, procedures. So, but yeah, they're going to be monitoring me for 5 years, I think. And if I'm going to be cancer-free for 5 years, then apparently that's it. Hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, fingers crossed on that, and the same for you, Debbie. I mean, basically, what would you say to other people, listeners, who are sort of thinking, oh, there's something wrong with me, I've got a lump, I've got this, I've got that. What words of wisdom would you offer them?
Go to the doctor straight away, and be persistent with the doctor, because so many things can be brushed off as a minor thing. But if you know deep down there's something that's not quite right with you, and keep persisting and get that check from a specialist.
And what about you, Anna?
In that track that we recorded, I put this part of my poetry. It was said in Russian, but I'm going to translate it. Eyes are scared, but hands are acting. So basically, yes, it is scary experience. When you find out, it's really scary. It's shocking, but just keep going, keep following the instructions from the doctor. and just, even when your eyes are scared, just keep doing, and you'll be fine.
Right, on that note, we need a bit more music. I'm sorry, but I promise we're being back. I'm enjoying this chat. Talk to you soon.
To comment on Soar Sounds programmes, contact feedback@soursound.uk.
Soar Sound.
All-time greatest hits on Soar Sound.
And welcome back. You're listening to Pete Degnan. I'm still talking to Anna and Debbie about their cancer journey and the workshops that they've done with the local CIC that's called Apnapans. And it's the work from there. Now, Apnapans is actually run by an old friend of the station, Indy Samra, and we will be talking to her nearer Christmas about different aspects from that. But anyway, back to Anna and Debbie. I'm sorry if this sounds like a rude question, but when you were diagnosed, did you go through those feelings of rejection that everyone knows, or I must be some form of freak or something, sort of self-doubt and all that?
I went through this when I lost my hair. When you go into the shop, like you bald.
Yeah.
People just kind of staring at you. They feel like, like they feel pity or something. So yeah, I started wearing wigs and hats, but it was a bit of, yeah.
Yeah. And for a woman, it's even worse, isn't it?
Yeah.
The hair.
Yeah, because you're losing your eyebrows, your eyelashes.
Oh,
and,
right.
Yeah, people feel, oh, she's sick, like, so yeah, I did feel that rejection.
And what about you?
Yeah, definitely the baldness. I'd lost a breast and my hair, and I just didn't feel feminine or like a woman.
Yeah.
And that for me is all I can describe is all of that period of going through that. You're just in shock. And you're just putting one foot in front of the other. But I can tell you from the same as Anna, you go into a shop and people absolutely stare at you. They don't, and you feel forced to put a wig on. And I never felt comfortable in a wig. I'd prefer to just wear a headscarf. But obviously the headscarf kind of indicates to people there's something wrong, or on a hot day when you want to just have your head out.
Yeah.
It draws attention to yourself.
Yeah. I mean, people can be cool, but don't necessarily have to say anything. Their actions sort of speak volumes, doesn't it, really? And to be honest, like I said, regarding my hair loss, I imagine, it's even worse for a woman, isn't it, really?
I totally agree with Debbie's words. You don't feel feminine. You feel, I don't know, like non-binary or something,
Yeah, especially with the nature of the cancer itself, doesn't it? But I mean, how would you comment about the staff at the hospital? Were they helpful? Were they informative all the time, or did you have problems?
My experience, I had a little bit of problem with communication, because they will give you so many contacts. Like there are a bunch of contacts from the breast clinic. They also give you a bunch of contacts in oncology department. And honestly, like when you start calling, when you have a problem, they start ping-ponging you. Oh, you need to call this number, that number. So I wasn't happy with communication part, but there were really good staff. I'm really happy with my surgeon. Like he's an amazing person. I don't know if can I say his name?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah, Dr. Krupa. Yaroslav Krupa, amazing surgeon. He worked with me. I cannot say thank you enough. There were very nice nurses at the chemotherapy department. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to them as well. It was mixed experience. There were some very tough parts, and I've met really nice people as well.
Yeah. And what about you, Debbie?
Okay, yeah, in different clinics, it's the same, I think, in any workplace. You get good people, you get some people who are not so good and supportive, and it's all a bit ad hoc, depends when you phone up who you end up speaking to. In oncology, everybody was just so caring and nice and supportive, especially when things went wrong in chemo for me. People were very supportive and and just got me the treatment straight away, monitored me 24/7. That was brilliant. And again, I had a wonderful surgeon who I don't think is at the breast clinic anymore, but Ms. Shakui was incredible.
But I mean, to be honest, I imagine that due to the sheer nature of the cancer, breast cancer, there's a certain amount of embarrassment knowing that you're going for surgery, even though it's necessary. It's because of where it is, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely. I can remember. I used to work in schools, and I can remember my head teacher knowing about it, and she said, when you come back, you got to make sure that the children can't see that you've lost a breast, and she made a big point about that. So lots of people were more concerned about it than me and my appearance.
What about you, Anna? Did you have some sort of
Well, it's very interesting because before cancer, I never I had some friends who had breast cancer, and I'm like, okay, breast cancer, whatever. They just gonna cut the piece of it, whatever.
Yeah.
But when I was going through this, and initially, because my tumor was so large, it was like 10 centimeters, surgeons didn't want to proceed with a lumpectomy, basically a partial removal. They wanted to completely, do complete mastectomy. And I was like, oh my God. That time I realized I'm gonna lose a part of my body. And I'm like, no, I just can't. So, and thankfully, my surgeon was willing to work with me. So we proceeded with lumpectomy. So I was able to preserve my breast. But I don't know, I'm not sure. I would be extremely traumatized if I would lose the entire breast. It's like losing, it's like part of you,
Yeah.
But Leicester is. So Leicester is one of those places that will give you a reconstruction straight away, and that was how I proceeded. They reconstructed me as part of the original surgery and followed it up, so that those things about not feeling the woman with losing part of myself was helpful.
Did you find that you change in yourself, your own state of mind? Are you now more concerned about other people who have cancers, or is it a case now that concentrate on yourself and basically forget everyone else?
I think first of all, I matured, mentally matured a lot when I went through the cancer experience. I think before cancer, I was kind of just living one day, don't care about future. Now I more care about future. I more care about people around me. I care about my health more. I think, I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but I appreciate myself much more because I want to say thank you to myself, to my strength that I went through this on my own, without family, without any support.
Yes.
So
you've got that sense of achievement.
Yes.
Yeah. Debbie?
It kind of throws you into a world that you didn't know existed. You're suddenly in the chemo suite, and you're thrown amongst a lot of people who are ill all the time, and you're not aware of that. Before your diagnosis, you're just not aware of this going on, and that's the shock of it. And I think, although it's, like I said, although it's physical, it affects you mentally, and you find your real strength for carrying on and keep putting one foot in front of the other.
And welcome back. It's Pete Degnan's Spotlight Show from Soar Sound. Our website address is soarsound.uk. I'm still talking to Anna and Debbie about breast cancer, etc. Thank you for coming on to the show. To be honest, it's a very delicate situation. I mean, basically, it's something that we would, as a lot of people would like to try and brush under the carpet and say it doesn't exist. I imagine your opinion is bring it out from under the carpet. Let's discuss it. We need to discuss it. And this is where the local CIC, Apnapan, actually does a fantastic job.
Definitely. Right. I found the family support kind of in Apnapan because, as I mentioned, I don't have any immediate family here. Yeah. And when I when I met Indy, when I started joining the groups, I felt, like family kind of support. It's very important, and I'm so glad I've met Indy. Indy, love you.
Like I said, we will have Indy on near Christmas and that. And I mean, thank you both for coming on to the show. Would you mind if we actually got you back onto the show after Christmas just to see what your progress is? Basically follow up with anything else, Is that okay with both of you?
Yes, that's fine with me. Yes,
absolutely.
Right. Well, thank you for being part of the Spotlight show. Obviously, I wish you well. I hope that you have a fantastic Christmas or the rest of it. It's a bit early to wish you Christmas, but it sounds better than saying have a good Halloween and bonfire night, doesn't it? Take care and thank you very much.